Hi, sunny people. I'm going to talk louder now because apparently the sound is not so good on my last video. People were saying that they couldn't hear me. So it sort of occurred to me today that there must be a lot of musicians out there that have ET. If you think about Casey and the Sunshine Band, when they start singing about Shake, Shake, Shake Your Booty, and the other song, Shake, Rattle, and Roll, kind of sounds like us. Uh, Today I want to talk about internal tremors and going to the dentist. So, how do you explain to somebody that you have internal tremors? Are you uneasy? No. You're nervous? No. How do you explain it? I shake. I'm shaking inside. Uh, and people will sit there and say, "Well, you must feel cold." How can you feel cold in the summertime? I mean, sometimes it hits us in the summer when it's so warm outside, you can hardly walk around with any clothes on. Uh, it's bad. I find it sometimes worse. The internal tremors, they make me so unrestless or so restless, worse than shaking with my hands. And that's I read about it and the people saying, "Oh, I had the internal tremors today and stuff. I'm really feeling bad." It's true. I think when we have the tremors inside of us at sometimes, I don't have it very often, but when I do have it, it's like how would you say? It's like you feel like you're gonna get sick. It's like when you're starting to get the flu and you know you're gonna get it, you're just getting started with it, and you think, "Oh no." Uh, but it's great when it passes and you can sit there and say, "Okay, breathe deep." uh, the second thing is the dentist. I have read quite a bit about in the pages, uh, adrenaline-free Novocaine and stuff. I didn't know that they used adrenaline in a Novocaine when they give you a shot. That would seem sort of counterproductive to me because adrenaline makes your blood flow faster, which means the Novocaine leaves your jaw faster, which it means that the shot wears off. Uh, of course, if they're using adrenaline in it, then you don't have to wonder when you're in the chair and you shake more. Uh, the problem with the dentist is also keeping your mouth open all the time. And a lot of them will say, "Well, we just simply have to do this drilling and that one and this." And the problem is keeping your jaw open and staying still, and it's hard. Uh, you can sit there and say, "Okay, for one tooth, it's okay," but then they do one, then they say go straight to the next one. And I think it's really important to sit there and tell the dentist, "Look, I have a central tremor. If you don't know about it, read about it. It could be that I cramp and bite you." Uh, my dentist, he uh, he sit there and I had to do some major work, and he sit there and said, "One shot's bad enough. I can't imagine giving you 11 shots." So he sent me to a clinic, and she asked me, "Why can't you take the shots?" And I said, "Because I have essential tremor." And she said, "Oh yeah, okay," and turned to the nurse and said, "I forget the code number. Just punch in ET, and the code number will come up." And she said, "No problem." And I'm like, you know about this?" And she said, "Oh, you ate the first one." And I thought, wow, somebody understands. And but the main thing is sit there and tell your dentist if he says, "Well, you'll just have to live through this." I mean, then find another dentist. There's enough of them out there. I mean, if he doesn't want to sit there and console with you and say, "Okay, we'll take your time and stuff." If he's in that much of a hurry, then he can have another patient. Then you can find another dentist, even if you have to drive somewhere. Uh, that's 4 minutes, 50, good. Then I'll sit there and touch on the subject of doctors. Doctors are, in my eyes, 8 out of 10 doctors don't know what essential tremor is. The other two doctors, the one will know what it is, but it's like okay, this is the medicine which is normally given. Take that. Bye. And only 1 out of 10 doctors will sit there and talk to you and say, okay, let's try this. If it doesn't work, we're going to try this other one. And if you have any problems, stop it. We'll try something else. There's only like 1 out of 10 will sit there and will talk to you and try to come to an agreement. How would I say it? Come to an agreement with you that that you feel that he cares. I mean, I'm really glad I finally found a neurosurgeon who cares. He's like, okay, if you want to try it, but if you have any problems, quit. And now that I have this molybdenum, he's like, okay, but I still want to see you in 6 months. He still wants to keep in contact, even though I can take this medicine now and there's no problems. He still wants to see me, so it means he cares. And I read about this in the Facebook sites. Yeah, and the general practitioner, he said, don't worry about it. Everybody shakes. And I went to the neurosurgeon, and he sat there and said the only thing they have is isopropanol. And I think, find another doctor. If you're not satisfied with them, drive somewhere else and find another one. If you have to go and write to a hospital, which is specialized in neurosurgery and something, write to them and say, look, I'm not satisfied with the help I'm getting. I pay into the system. I want help. I want to be served, because that's what you are. You are a client. When you pay into the health system, no matter where you're at, you are in a way a client. So they're supposed to help you. And if you're not satisfied, find another doctor. Even if you have to drive 100 or 200 kilometers to get to a hospital, it's worth it if you can get the help that you need. So those are the subjects I wanted to touch on today. Don't forget our favorite websites that I always try to mention. Diane Shaddocks, Beyond Blue, in case you're starting to feel down. And Living with Essential Tremor with Jackie Farrell. And I hope you all have a nice day. Bye.